Welcome to Deep Dive Sessions, the podcast where we go beneath the surface to uncover the real stories behind the hustle, the heartbreak, and the hope that shapes today's game changers. Today's guest is living proof that failure isn't the end, it's the fire that forges greatness.
And then I was tired. I was frustrated. I felt like I needed something of my own.
Were you tired of the work itself or tired of not following your dream?
Tired of not following my dream because I felt like I was meant to do more, like big things. Yeah.
From working the floors of Choppies to launching a yogurt brand from scratch to winning national competitions and scaling up a preservative-free food company that's changing the game, Kago Dichabe has walked through the fire and come out building something that tastes like purpose. In this episode, we're not just talking about business. We're talking about dreams, dead ends, self-belief, and the insane courage it takes to start again twice. This is not your average success story. This is real. This is raw. This is Deep Dive Sessions with Kago Dichabe. Big man Kago, welcome to Deep Dive, man.
Thank you so much, my brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've been looking at your work, admiring you from a distance. I don't know.
Yeah, better who try.
Remote office.
Yeah.
Man, before we even go into the success of CK Foods and how you came through, I want you to go back to the Nagono you quit your job. That day when you quit your job, I think you quit it twice.
Twice.
Yeah, you quit it twice.
Yeah.
So let's go to the first time. The first time you quit your job and you went straight into entrepreneurship. What was going through your mind? I think this is a place where a lot of people, literally, it's what do we call it? It's the path where you don't know what's next. It's where there's an uncertainty. So what was going through your mind in that moment?
Hey, man, I was tired. I was frustrated. I felt like I needed something of my own. So the time I gave them the notice, I have to do something.
Were you tired of the work itself or tired of not following your dream?
Tired of not following my dream because I felt like I was meant to do more, like big things. Yeah.
Of course.
Even yeah,
Yes,
my
sir.
work, EPLL.
Yeah.
Even before Gabanela, the resignation letter, I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah, ke tsentse notice without knowing gore ke a go dirang. Lucky enough, my friend Lena na batla go venture into business. So like we had a conversation ke mara ke re kana mina go kwa ke a tlogela antara ke no ya ke na le di-funds wena na le eng ka ko ke re no ke kgone go bokanya 1 2 3 we can start. That's when we started our poultry house. Yeah.
Man, you don't even know what. Right, see, you got a motivational speaker. Then the following morning you're like, yes, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Man, that's bold. Were you always this bold?
I would say yes. Like nako e neng ke tsana school, I always had that feeling ya gore gongwe le gongwe ko ke yang go tsana teng, I'm gonna make sure gore I'm going to do something great. Yeah. That's the mentality I had back then. Yeah.
So were you competitive? Like coming up high school, like what the whole now number one, more top 5, top 10.
No, not really. In terms of academically, I wasn't performing well. But when I got to senior school, that's when I got go botokanyana. But I think I tapped on something. So like le mo tlaseng ya lane ke araba ke tsholetsa be ke without even ke sa bala le the topic le be ra go bua ka yona gore like utlwe definition hela out, like go with the flow. So like no go ntse yalo, then from there because I tsenya fote kalo into my yeah.
Okay. So you just had that in you.
Yeah.
You know, I want to ask you that question, ya gore that was such a bold move. Were you always this bold? I was hoping you're gonna say no, so that you tell us how you developed that ability.
Yeah.
But I guess it's something that you cultivate over time, because I think entrepreneurship will teach you on a daily basis to become bold. How is that really? How were you able to now cultivate that to make these bold moves, man? even renting out a space is bold move.
Mm.
Because rent is crazy.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's subjective depending on but when you're starting out, rent will kid. So how were you able to just develop that?
I would say some of the things nkare o tshotsona le tsone. Ha ke gakologelwa
So ke di hadi hela go.
Eh.
O padile ba gaetso. Ka go nna bone. Ka go
Yeah,
kita go
eh.
nna bone.
Yeah, no. So ha ke gakologelwa nako e neng ke my business ya di-yogurt at ya poultry hetsa go feila. Ne ke setsa ka 50 pula on my pocket. Ne ke sa itse go duba borotho, but I wanted to do something. So be ke re, what can I do? E be ke tsanela mo shopong, moved around ke batla something se se cheap se leng gore nka se rekisa, but di-sweets ne nka se ke tsene ho. So ha ke go bona flour be ke re no, with this 50 pula nka tswa 1 kg wa flour, yeast, polony, without knowing go duba borotho. Phakela ka 3 ke ha ke dira diphaphatha. Ke ha ke dira diphaphatha, mama ha ya go tsoga. Mama ha ya go tsoga tla go bona nthara borotho ba ke ba jwa ke batho bo. A ba nthuta nthara no go dirwa yana, then the recipe became perfect. Yeah, from there ko ra bona re ke tsere tshwetsa gore I'm going to dira diphaphatha phakela, but I didn't know how to. It was my first time.
So when I go to ditshwetso, then after that, that's when you figure things out.
Yeah.
Nice.
I
guess that's also what brought that ability for you to, I mean, you won pitch competitions. It's like, I was the 2.
Yeah, 2.
And already you're at this age and you've won 2 pitch competitions, man. So it's already a testament of you know what you're doing. So before we go to the pitch competitions, you quit your job and then you went into poultry. What do you think made your business not succeed in poultry?
I think the timing was wrong. No go le mariga, and ka go ke nang teng go bapile le molapo, so it was cold. Yeah, so the timing was wrong. It was the first time getting into poultry, so I didn't have the know-how. Like I didn't have the skills to run a poultry, to raise chickens.
Right.
So I would say it was no, the timing wasn't perfect, even though I didn't have the skills to for farming, but the timing was not perfect. I felt like loss serame. Yeah.
Or just the experience of running it.
Yeah.
But did your partner have any knowledge in terms of poultry?
No.
It's just people with a dream.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got into the business. How many, give me the details. I want to understand the details because I think there's a lot of lessons in failure. I think you would also agree as someone who's in business that we learn more from failure sometimes than from success. What were those lessons? Just give me the details of how the business, we bought X amount of chickens and then we did this and this and this, and then ultimately we didn't succeed.
The biggest lesson I've learned from the poultry business, it was preparation. Prepare yourself before you start something, even though I don't do that, but it's something that I've noticed what it's very important when you are starting something, especially if that thing is new to you. You have to at least learn, go somewhere else and benchmark. So just prepare yourself. Just prepare yourself. I know there is an excitement of seeing yourself in the game, but in that period where you don't do nothing, prepare yourself.
Work on the preparation. So you feel like, preparation was the main thing.
Yeah.
And then the timing also factor, which leads to preparation, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I guess if you were that prepared, you'd have known, this is kind of, it's a very cold season for chickens. Okay, so you go into chickens and then you then start selling bread at CBD. No and all that. And then you go into CBD. That's another thing also.
Yeah.
Selling to people. Telling people, hey, I have this and this. Did you figure out a place where to start selling, or you're just going around? So I'm selling 1, 2, 3.
At first, I started by moving around. Then I found a spot in front of FNB. That's when I was stationed. So the question was like, okay, no, now I have bread. How do I sell this? Took my scarf chain. I had a red container. Yeah, so I borrowed it from my grandmother. So I took the container, stuffed my bread from there for inside. Then I went, moved around office door to door, selling breakfast. You know, like papata ha e tlhoke gore o e rekise. You don't need to explain much.
You don't say much.
You
just see it and they salivate.
Yeah, it's your papata.
Yeah.
So
okay. So notes and hell and then so you did that for how long?
It was 6 months.
And then were you able to raise cash? Were you being profitable in that process, or how was it running?
Nah, it wasn't profitable. So like no go tsana madi a stock ke a go reka stock ke a duba gape. It was, you know, like for me to have succeeded in that business, no go batlile e le gore ke producer large quantities. So like hale ne santse le di batchnyana tse dinyenyane, so I couldn't make much money, you know, like no itlhela gore in a day ke re le profitable 10 pula, 20 pula, you know. Plus one about transport on top of that, time, you see.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. And then cool, you realize what I need to go back to work. You're like, okay, it's rough out here. There you are like, but also that's another thing. It's another thing because you were in, then you went out, then you went back in, then you went out.
Yeah.
So you went back to the same place where you were.
Yeah.
So that's also where you left on good terms.
Yeah.
That's another thing. So you left on good terms. How did you get back to the job?
Tota, let me just say, the first time ke bereka gone ko Choppies, nna ne ke le ngwana lo siame ke utlwang ne ke dira tiro.
This is going somewhere.
No, ne ke dira tiro tota, ne ke dira tiro, ne ke sa tsenye ope dingalo.
Okay.
So le bone ne ba sena bothata ba go mpusetsa mo businesseng mo spanning, because ne be itse gore no, this guy ne ha re mo netse tiro wa e dira. I think the other thing, the time I left, ne le gore ke a go trainela stock control. So for the fact that I was being trained for another position.
Yeah,
no
it means
gore a
that,
se,
yeah.
wa bona. So yeah, I think that that is that. Yeah.
And then you just call them up. You're like, okay, is that position still open?
Yeah.
So did you go to stock control? You went back?
No, started from the bottom. Yeah.
Like, go back, Baba.
Yeah. So what I really get then if I feed a paddle. Then I started. Yeah, got class.
But did you come in with, what was your mindset coming back in? Were you coming back knowing that you're gonna go out, or were you coming back just to be able to stay afloat, make some money, and then just recalibrate?
One thing that was on my mind was, I'm not going to work there for 3 years or 2 years. I know I wanted to do something. In fact, before leaving, before I resigned the first time, I had this idea so Niki beile hela ho. So Niki ipoletsa gore when I get there, I'm going to continue my research.
Okay.
I was going to start my research because it was the first time ke tle be ke tsena mo yogurt like ke dira research at so like I had many ideas.
Okay.
So ke kgonna go tsa tsena gore di motlhofo gore nka di dira, then be ke simolla ka tsone ke bona go thata, you know what, let me just go back, raise some capital, focus mo di yogurt thing. Yeah.
When I can you raise some capital. It's an because also I'm one of those guys that I finished varsity, just went straight into it. But by then I was already running something. But raise some capital.
It is very important.
So it's very important. So you actually had this idea, but now it shows you want to now do research about it. You're learning that preparation that you talked about. You want to do research and figure things out. You made an interesting statement, you realized that in Botswana, there's only one yogurt brand that's competing with international brands. And that didn't sit right with you. Walk me through that process.
We have many products in my shop.
Mm.
I thought what a yogurt is going to be. I thought it was easy to make. So niki ipotsa gore, like looking at how stock on setsana ka teng mo shopong se tswa, no go supa gore yogurt ya rekiwa compared to soup, powdered soup. Ne re kgona tsenya stock
So soup is selling, yogurt is selling more than soup.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ne re kgona go tsenya stock sa soup.
Soup itola e jewa yana nemon.
Yone ya jewa, but ha so re rekiwa mo go
Is it? Okay.
so yogurt almost every week, every 2 weeks ya tla. So I was like, e le gore why company lo one mo Botswana? A computer with foreign brands. So by then it's a company lo one hela, which is Sadidere. So I was like, e le gore why lo one hela out of Botswana? Yeah. So
Right.
I went back ke be ke ya go dira researching, only to find out where we are struggling with milk. And I was like, oh, okay.
We're struggling with obtaining milk.
Yeah. Then I was like, oh, okay. But still, I love yogurt. Let me just continue with the process. You know, like I think, like the scientific part got my interest.
Before you go there, what do you mean in terms of milk? Like when you say we're struggling to get milk for yogurts, mo Botswana, or what's like
milk hella raw. Like I think currently our production capacity, it is 7 million liters, and we import approximately 37 million liters annually. So you can just see the difference: 30 million liters.
Hey,
you see,
but we have so many cows. We don't have so much dairy.
We don't have so much dairy.
That's the thing.
Yeah, we don't have so much dairy.
Is it?
We don't have so much dairy.
Yeah. So, it's very interesting, man. So that's what then made it clear for you, okay, this is what I need to go into.
Yeah. You know, like running the kokole, the papata, this thing of being different. So I wanted to do something saying gore ha o motho for motho a ka emela ba tsena mo go sona bona. So I knew gore yogurt is going to be difficult. Firstly, ha rena di ingredients tsa yogurt mo Botswana. You have to go across like international to get the ingredients. Mashi a sokola. We don't have equipment. The production process is not easy.
Yeah,
So
already the barrier of entry is high.
It's high.
Yeah.
I want to do yogurt. They'll tell me, hey, like another machinery, it's around 1.3 million. How are you going to get that money? And I told them, no, what? I'm going to start.
Relax. I'm bold.
Yeah.
But it's interesting you said that because you saw that milk at trial, but you still went into doing yogurt. Why?
You know, like, I think there was something. I had that belief, what I'm going to make it in dairy. You know, like there was that thing in me, you know, like, the second time, that thing was spinning on me. Ne ke sa robale ebile ne ke regreta gore why ke ne ka invest into poultry and diphaphatha ka be ke sala ka simolela ka yone to go wa bona. So yeah.
So like the idea was just keeping. I know how that feels, man.
Yeah,
where daily are just like you're thinking about it, it's on your mind.
I had a notebook. It was a pocket size. Every day, like it's
just part of that research, and you're figuring it out. So,
and then stay longer as part of the inspiration of running business. You know, like what your PC gets in as a businessman. So I wanted to learn. I wanted to know the system. How do you make this to be successful? Yeah.
We work a system, you learned about the systems, and I think this is something that I envy because I didn't have this ability to have worked first and get into entrepreneurship. I just went into entrepreneurship, and I think certain things you want to learn, because even if you look at successful people, they worked under somebody, and I be bataba by tutor how things were and how to run the machine. The whole machine, I mean the business. And whenever you didn't learn the systems, and then you go. So maybe one or two things that you learned that you feel like again, that experience gave me something.
Okay. Since I was more focused in stock management, I think what I've learned during that period, it prepared me. I would say it gave me some sort of, let me just say, financial literacy. Like stock management will go hand in hand with my dad's and my businessing. So like being able to know what to keep the business continuing, I have to make sure that ha ke tlhaile ka senna nne ha ke riana ha stock sa tsamaya hana, I have to do 1 2 3 wa bona. So got the system yone ka bo yone like into the automation. So like
right
things at one point your business should be automatic, like run smoothly. Gore la ona le babereki go se ke ga nna le ope e leng gore wa jema because ga itse sengwe kana go na le sengwe se e leng gore ga se dirwe sentle gore like ga o na le system go buy in a place e leng gore keng everything runs itself. No go na le go se le gore ne re bula shop before shop ya go bula ha o tsena wa itse gore as a stock manager wa tsena wa go bala stock go butchereng wa go bala senna nne, but where the CEOs ba go akere e tla go motho a teng a go thagela ka 9 ka bo 10 wa bona. So like having a system e go buy in a position where the business can run itself le ha ntse o seo. Obviously how less small man is going to be difficult. How do you systemize everything with one man or one so but me I like the thing just to try to automate things.
And that's top tier, man. So you went in and then Spain. You left Spain, while going through your story. Big man yogurt. Okay, talk to me now about that jump now. This is the second time you're making this jump. Is there anything different from the first time in terms of how you feel and your conviction to really now do this? Because you went the first time and it didn't go well. But now you're going the second time.
So the second time, that's when I got into attending seminars. I used to attend the seminar before, but it was just for 1A. So the second time, this guy thought I needs to learn as much as he can. So like I was getting opportunities to attend the business trainings, the workshop, or so like that then prepared me, like Halian Nikisiki or there is a spreadsheet, or no, that's how I calculate my costs, that's how I do this. Nakwate or register a business. Nakwate go call a business plan. So like I felt like I wasn't fully prepared, but no one else saying Nikisi's. I can mention or Nikki to tell about stock control. So there was a time in or Nikki Bailo mo fishing kilo wine at the guy Nanza and Tutana seo. So that entire month no was no chance. Officini lime or Kingazana Pakela
or Foroman.
Kilo Foromaniano, Kazana Pakela Ketso Mitibu. And no was now working Keka law for Kerka attenders and then because Hake law for stock was a butcher satellite. The management or tena ba lebella gore go harna le gap hana go iragile wa bona. And even gongwe we never know gongwe batho ba butshara ba ka disela go ikutsela stock se ke go palo ke go account for stock se because I wasn't there wa bona. So the entire month I was there, and like the excitement of being behind a desk and a computer. I was like,
even the la change.
Bakitsana sentle na patang ke simola go apara nice.
Similar, we ask how good morning.
Yeah. So
Hey.
that excitement in letting, I think for the first week, then the second week, spine pressure at thing, Niki Sike ka bunting. But hella, I still had that thing of having my own things. I still had that thing of running my own business. Management I would want to be there. I would want to make an input. But I wanted to be there high long go discuss di botlhokwa ka shop wa bona. So like that emptiness in a bua yaanong. So I was feeling depressed. A month later, that period hedile. So there's a place we have a workshop.
Right.
Can you come? I went there, Pakela thing. I think nearly my lights after my birthday. So I went out with my friends for breakfast. Businessman. Magen Binyana coffee. Then from there I went to attend the workshop. Like being there, exchanging ideas. What are already there in the game. That
Motivation.
Motivation, inspiration. That day, ebe ke a go bula buka e mentseng ke direla research mo yone ke re ke tlhala ka 1 2 3 1 ke na le bokana mo accounting. Before I could get the recipe right, ke duela monna wa graphic designer ke re kopang design le sticker. Re bona re sena ke le tsa batho ba packaging ke kopa packaging. I continued ke a go reka dutse like equipment and ke santse ke tlhala ka yone back then be ke reka le gore ya nong ke serious to tla go finalize a recipe and I did that.
You know 1.3 million.
Then 1.3 million. Yeah, so I did that. I got my recipe right. The following day, I began, you know what? Like it's my first batch. I was supposed to be there by 7:30. Yeah, I think 7 o'clock. But ke so thogela ka bo 1 ke ile go deliver. Ke a boa ke tsena ka 1. So ke tsena le be ke tloka e be ke chaisa gore nako ene e balance ke ile go ira production e be ke reka mashi be ke tsama ke a go ira production. Ile ke tsena go lapeng continued ka production ke so hits around 4. Nako ne se chailano be ke ratla ke boe hela. Ile ke boa. In fact, I was supposed to knock off Kabo 9 shop e tswalo. So e be ke nna kwa lapeng until nako e chaile ka bo 8 e be ke boa ke tla go clock out e be ke tsama. Pakela gape I was supposed to be at the Kauka 7. E be ke tswa gape ke a go deliver. So on my way back, you know what?
So you're delivering the product?
Yeah. No, after so like after I can finalize the recipe, I created Facebook page.
Okay.
More like advertiser.
No.
Skip that part. So after I finalized my recipe, like I told you, like after me bala. That's when
went and now put everything together.
So we are like a branding. Ke simola go ithuta go dirisa bo Canva, go designer di logo, created Facebook page. So after I like a package at the first batch, ke poster. Yeah, ke poster but simola go tsenya di order ke deliver.
But what's in from Facebook?
Yeah, from Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, from there. The second day.
Acting family. Rekang.
No, yeah. Yeah, family on never taste na ko in sense the development stage. So yeah. Yeah, so the second day e be ke decide gore ke a tlogela. Ke decide le hela ya long ke tsenya notice 24 hour. E be ke tlogela la go no immediately. 3 days into the business, stock ke se senyega. So it. And at that time, my day can alone. I say, naka ske amount to buy keraka stock se kana go reka stock se lona ka ira betching and le be ke a go rekisa. So I was frustrated. E be ke ba letsa guys, phatla ka nto go eme ya.
Businessman.
Yeah. ha ke le mo tseleng kwana ha ke le mo tseleng ke boela gone ko Choppies e be ke ma ke kana me I took a decision ke boela kwana ke a go tsana kwana ke a go nna frustrated
so ntse ne ba re teng
bile la bantha ba reng ya ha re se re hitiselo kwa la notice so sa ntsona le chance ke ne se gore le ko pele so le kola sa ntse le mo gore na le a re se le
ene ga gore mona o tlhapa ka dio tse di mogale la bobedi ka ke la boraro ya lo
yeah ke ne la boraro mo tseleng e be ke ma ke you know what I'm not going back that's when I just decided gore ha ile gore ke struggle tla na struggle I would have to find a way ya go push a business
yeah
it was exciting go dira so se leng gore a sa tlwaele se ga tota
yeah
it was exciting I don't want to lie
it's usually like that you start with that excitement and then you meet your first big problem like your first major problem because in my experience it was more I did something I started and then I met like I got when I like a major problem in business and my instinct was not to look for a job it was to start another one because I would immediately start other businesses start looking good hey but it actually never works you just have to figure that problem out so walk us through how you manage this issue
the issue stock
the stock and then how you came through to the pitching now
lucky enough coordinator tlo go hela so deep down I was hoping gore ba tla ntatlhela sengonyana I agree you know gore ha tseng 24-hour notice they have to pay themselves pay for my lights and gore ba costile so yeah
well I didn't know I was just saying
so like so gore ka tshwana tshwantse gore tsenye a 30-day notice before
okay yeah I know it's 30
ba go replace again so mo le ha ile gore it's 24 hours wa go duela malatsi a setseng go tlhala go di hela
okay
so if o tlogetse ka di 25 ra re 60 so setseng mo le ba go topola mo salary ya gago wa bona so yeah gone ho nna ke itagera go kwatlatsa sengonyana ke re no ka tla tiba away tang go tsene 10 plus 50 tebe 10 plus 50 tebe so I couldn't do anything ka 10 pula e be le gona ke simolla
no ka di cool time
ka gore ka cool time yeah no start ke be ke simolla ke adima madi ano ke simolla ke reka stock ke ithuta gore mashi a bereka yang khanyana ya gore motlaka so kgona o tima anytime e ne le gona ke entlalang gore you know what like reka mo ileng gore go go lekane produce rekisa hela ya lo bona yeah that was that
interesting so your story unfolds into pitching this is where you got funding for the business walk us through that process because I want to stop here for a little bit
so there's an institution in media Tokafala I did apply for Tokafala e be ba santse but deep down niki tsela gore I have to I was supposed to be there I kitse re ke sa receive a call so e be go iragala gore na kwa tengela ne ke nne le gore ke chaka my father o di wona mo passion so ha ke la kwa be ke bona gore di office Tokafala di hana tla go ke tsene ke ba botse gore ba irile ya ha ke tsena
go ga lompone
go iragile ya ga bona so ile ke tsena that lady on thare nya na kana go hana re go setse go simolotswe we did call you we did approve your application I don't know gore go iragilang gore mogala o ska gore go go yena kana the acceptance letters ka gore go go yena but we did approve you but wait for the next cohort then I was like yeah no ebe ke botsa gore since le simolotse what have you done se leng gore ke se misits so that lady told me gore no re start the business model canvas I can do that I get the assignment was for that cohort to do the business model canvas but there is a business sabon they have to feel
right
so we can let me just go and do that get like forwardela my assignment ha ile gore ke pasitse o tla ntsa ha ile gore ha ke a pasa gore re go ile hela So the lady abantaring, hey, you really want to be here. Since super you want to get in, but go and do this. I did that. Then we continued to kind of program at them. 6 months later, after the program, the mentorship part. So they now focus on your business, how they can assist. Then later during the mentorship program, the business plan pitch competition. So I did prepare myself. I wrote a business plan. To the next round. The day you're pitching, I was excited. It was the second time I pitch.
It was the second time.
Yeah,
you had pitched before somewhere else.
Yeah, at Botswana Innovation Hub. But there, I don't know what to do number man. So how long it was the second time, I felt more energetic. You know what? This time around,
deep down,
deep down, I like you. But so a very picture. Judging from the response I got from the panel, but deep down I felt like
deep down.
Then starting from number 5, number 2.
And it was to do 2.
Yeah, number 2 says I BD so because it's a position you 1 and the beats.
But are there other people
I think really
no
na le bangwe ba ne nna ke akanyetsa ka re panel yone ke yone tse re ntshwetso so ya no da announcing the results so anong ke wa bobedi wa bitswa be ke ra wa chaila ke mo teng just gape even my colleagues the business tsa bona I would say they were doing well and as an investor you'd want to invest in business e leng gore
that's doing well.
So just looking other people gore na ba dira be ke ra wa surprisingly the number 1 CK Foods. Hey. Le nna ne ke sa dumele tota ne ke tsara I make nnete
ene ba no go to win bokae
it was 12,000 it was 12,000
o tsana mo businessing madi a amantsi
and ha ne nkile teng tota na le mantsi bile a contribute thata bona so e be ke tla go retsa review ya bone le be ke tla go bona gore me hela what I've been doing korne I was on the right track. It's just that na hela ke none ke kanyetsa gore do sa me di tswela yana ba then
what did they say though made you the winner? Did you ever ask them gore kante gone me what made that decision?
Okay, I know what I wanted. Even though the product is not fully fledged,
right?
But I know what I wanted. I funded myself to start this business and go supa gore
initiative.
La motho ka tsenya madi ga ke gore business ya kwata se be ke quita. So I think that's the response I got. But otherwise, never bua ka branding and other things. You know?
Following that, oboya ko ya
Stanbic. So before that, through Tokafala they helped me to craft a business plan.
Nice.
Elong gore sa ko MySec. So MySec.
Hey, I'm going to give
you so right after the pitch, I submit that for the YDF. So I got funded.
All right.
Then I think a year later, I go Stanbic. Stanbic. The pressure. Set up at so then I felt it. I didn't perform so even the panelists by the setup, the camera, so I think ke gone mo e le gore go njisitse line tota, but otherwise I feel like nka be ke rekisitse business ya me botoka cause ne se la ntlha ke pitcha ba bona I know what to do but helela kgang ya gore
e lo tsena ya ambience ya la bona di-vlog ke tse bona
ke bona ya but at least ke ne ka kgona go tswa ka sengwe.
Were you position what?
No,
I mean which position were you?
So like the way no go ntse ka teng ne le position 1 to I think 3 or 4. Then the rest ne ba tswa ka some sort of what can I say?
Like in kind, like gifts.
So we can say that. We can say that. So like ne ke la go ena mo grouping ya la bohelo
yeah. Le bitse ka bo in kind.
But at least I got something.
Yeah.
At least I got
something.
No.
Yeah. No, very interesting story, man. Very, very interesting story in how you came in. And then CK Foods was born.
Yeah.
Ibila bona ke ile ibile ana ke batla go re ute sente
ya o tlo re ra
ya zoom in tate ke bona gore eng this is cookies and cream I get full cream okay ingredients is milk, yogurt, culture. There's a big word here. Thermophilic culture, stabilizer, flavor, cookie. Okay, allergies is cow milk. I'm not allergic to cow milk. Nice. CK Foods Enterprise Pty Ltd.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Serious taste.
Yeah.
Serious taste. It has a ting to it. It has a ting to it, but I actually enjoy the ting. It has a ting to it.
So like
this is very nice. How much would this be?
Rather the bottle.
Yeah.
$12.
$12. Because I take a lot of smoothies.
I think for you that's 1 kg. Yeah, so 1 kg will
this is $12. Yeah. I could actually have this every morning. It's actually good, man.
No, it's very good.
This is cookies and cream.
Yeah.
Which other one is there? We have strawberry.
We have blueberry and granadilla. We have cinnamon. So cinnamon is just a substitute of plain yogurt. So it's sugar free. Plain yogurt. What else did I forget? Yeah, cookies and cream, blueberry and granadilla, strawberries, plain yogurt and cinnamon. Yeah.
And then you have the granolas also.
Yeah, then I have granola.
And water. I didn't even know you had water.
Yeah. No, I've recently added metsi.
So this is your brand?
Yes.
Royal Drop.
Royal Drop.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, how I thought
No, hey.
So I wanted to get into something real short. Rapid fire. I'm going to ask you just a few questions. 60 seconds. I got know fast. Decisive.
Yeah.
All right. What's the first thing you do when you wake up?
The first thing I do when I wake up is to pray. Yeah.
I think you're going to say it to yogurt, man. I was going to be like, good to the brand. I get it.
Yeah.
But it's very good to pray, man. It's very, very good to pray. Yeah, all jokes aside. It's very, very... Because business house I rapidly...
Yeah, true.
I've literally seen the Lord's hand in my life. Yeah. Okay, so if what's your favorite Botswana dish?
Oxtail.
Hey, we really eat.
Yeah.
We really eat. Like I'm gonna do cover. I'm gonna do cover. I like it all way.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So I'm actually looking at a few. What's your most used emoji on your phone? Yeah.
Hey.
Can I
recheck? Should I check? Let me check. Let me check. But I'd say it's a heart.
Yeah.
No, it's a crying emoji.
It's a crying emoji. Around business emoji.
It's a crying
emoji. Good morning, good night.
Yeah, like the history.
Yeah, but it's followed by the heart also.
Yeah.
So it makes up for it. What's the worst date you've ever been on?
Worst date?
Worst date. Worst date experience.
Let me remind myself. Actually, I wouldn't say I had one. Yeah,
Lucky man.
because no, I wouldn't say I had.
This man is living
one.
good.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I had one. Yeah, no, I wouldn't say that.
Is it?
Yeah. I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, no, at least I'm not being the one ask questions. All right, if you had 1 million pula to blow in 24 hours, what would you do?
In 24 hours. Bruh.
To
First
blow.
thing, I would buy things that I need. So it's a business and like the most crucial equipment in order to get clock at the current moment. I should be a spoiler lead. Yeah, I be a spoiler.
Was spoiler mothers.
Yeah,
Oh, banna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's right. That's right. Banna bati.
Yeah.
All right. So, what like you boarding for the hish. But I would talk at what I got because it made me laugh.
Yeah.
Hey, what would you feel is your toxic trait, toxic business trait?
What can I
Firing
say?
employees.
No, honestly speaking, I'd say it's the communication part. Yeah, the communication part is the one that is, I would say, it's toxic for my business and for the people that are willing to do business with me. I've noticed that communication, I'm struggling there. I believe learn
Like a PA.
I do need a
This
PA.
is when you said that, I was
Yeah.
like, hey man. But not generally, I think it's just how I can miss some messages.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I do need that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think this is the last question on rapid fire. If you weren't doing business, what would you do? If you weren't doing business, I know some business, what would you do?
A lot of things. Okay,
give us your top 3 then.
I believe I'm passionate and I believe those passion can result into something that is, let me just say, profitable.
Hey, deep down.
So I'm partly into poetry.
Yeah. That's why you have that love emoji on your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Partly into poetry. I want to write a book. I would say I'm interested in science, specifically electrical. I'm interested in numbers, like your accounting. Accounting.
So you could go to many directions.
I could go to many directions.
I want us to come here as a business guy. Would you date an entrepreneur? A girl that's an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
I mean, at this current point, would you say you would date a girl that's an entrepreneur? And why?
Dating an entrepreneur, motho a teng wa ba tlhaloganya the space e ke le mo go yone. So ha ke mara ke re supplier ya diega wa go tlhaloganya gore ke bua kae. Ha ke mara ke re company insurance so ha e se duele wa go tlhaloganya gore ke bua kae.
Wa tsama 2 days o sa bue le ene.
Wa go tlhaloganya gore ke bua kae. Because sometimes it happens gore be ke beetse phone kwana wa bona. E se gore ha ke a mo hlwahala kana ya. Ba re le kgang ya gore ke busy wa bona. Sometimes
kana ke one eo ga bo go theogetse
wa bona. So like dating an entrepreneur, I believe gore gongwe dune di a go nna a lot easier. Ke dumela mo kgang ya gore Setswana sa re morotwa e se a o ele. If ne re le mmogo ne re a go aga lelapa le le ntle blind, you know, like building together, sa le mo go sone, sharing what I know, le ene sharing se leng gore wa se itse, trying to wa tshwara.
Yeah, no. That's proper. That's proper. That's
Yeah,
proper.
yeah.
I don't want to compose. All right, man. So we talked about the business in Botswana, the culture, offline, team lady camera, and I wanted us to get into that. What are your observations, Hela Tsodi Bonang, around our culture as Botswana and business owners, especially as startups, even just guys who are just in business? Because you made an interesting point when we were speaking, Hal, and I wanted to reiterate that.
Nna ha ke gola ne ke itse gore go na le dikopo tsa mahala. Madi a bagodi ke a tlhaloganya, but re godile go na le a lot of free incentives. And growing up in a setup like that, it damages the brain. Ga o akanye go itirela. Even though o le ambitious, wa go tsena ba tha go nna dingalo, mongwe wa gore a re kana mme a re ke kgotleng re go tsa dijo tsa mahala, a re go ira yana, a re go boketagate go ikwadisetswa sennane le sennane wa bona. So like re tlwaetse re gola go ntse go na le dilo tsa mahala,
freebies.
Ha re lebellang gonana ga gona the reason why gongwe kwa lapeng ne ba sa dumele gore ke tla goroga ke leng teng. The reason why le nna ke sa dumele gore ke tla goroga ke leng teng. The reason why my colleagues ne ba sa dumele gore ke tla goroga ke leng teng is because a gone opo e leng gore re gola re mmona dira business. Yo e leng gore ka re that guy o goletse mo pele ga matlho a rona. Ne re mmona o ka each and every day. Now he's driving his dream car. There are few entrepreneurs mo Botswana ba e leng gore re ka re itse gore ba gorogile yang go ba leng teng. And ba ba setseng ba gorogile ko godimo ga ba re bolele gore go simolotswe yang.
You work hard.
No.
People work hard.
Ke se ba se buang. But the how part.
How?
The how part is very important. It's missing more conversations tse di nang di le teng.
Why do you think that is though? Do you think
like
that
rather the how part?
Yeah, why do you think like, but I don't want to say how they made it. Like, why do you think that is?
Hi, how can you go explain the how part? That's why I get some of the things le nna ke dumela gore ke godile di le mo go nna. I've been around people by long they wanted to go into entrepreneurship. The challenges tse e leng gore ba di faced compared to what I faced. Some are similar, but o tlhela gore ke hitile mo dikgwetlhong tse dintsi compared to them.
Right.
But bone ba itlhobogile ka bonako. The how part is ana gone ho wa bona. Like wena personally o dumela mo go eng. Setswana sa re lo jwale sa le metsing. Meaning that ha o godisa ngwana ka sengwe wa se tlwaela. What I did fresh from Form 5 e be ke tsena into the industry. Ke gona ka ne ke build a mindset wa me. So ke buildile mindset wa me gone ho you'd find that my age mate ba go batla go tsena mo businesseng. I would say tlhaloganya santse e setse o sa developile some habits.
They already know what they want. Like their passions are given. Like it's already there. They're established in what they want to do now.
And we try in that process ba developile some habits e leng gore they are going to deny them gore ba khona ba reach go batlang go goroga teng.
Right.
So the how part for me, how na la idea sa emele o simolola wa develop. You develop on the way.
Yeah.
Step sa ntlha ke aka o le mo tseleng. O develop se leng gore batla go se godisa. So I feel like the how part it differa go tswahela gore mang go dile yang experience a go keng wa bona.
So is this culture just ya rona ya Botswana, or there's other people that are around us that don't have that level of that culture that we have?
I think the culture of
you talked about freebies. We like and these freebies sometimes stop us from becoming doing what we need to do
Mhm.
because we are used to getting things.
I don't know about other cultures, but ke se e leng gore ke se observile mo Botswana. And I believe gore is the same thing even in other countries. Because I ke itse gore di-economy economy tsa di-country tse dingwe di ntse yang, wa bona? So like you'd find that gongwe there is like it's similar, wa bona? Ke tlhala gore gongwe it's similar.
Yeah, no, I get that. I guess also as a country, we are a lot of first generation entrepreneurs. That's why we don't have those kind of role models.
True.
And we just have to build so that others see. But as we wrap up, man, CK Foods, where do we see CK Foods playing in the next 3-5 years?
In the next 5 years, let me just say 5. In the next 5 years, I would say CK Foods Globally International. The aim is to supply the international market. The aim is to create employment. Proper employment. There's a guy I don't remember but company I forgot the name ya company I forgot the name. The guy on the radio guy. So that guy aim ya gagwe ne le go change the community. And we change yang. The first employees tsa simolotsang ka tsone, the shareholders mo businesseng e leng gore
that's what's up.
Yeah, we struggled. O dule ha go batla funding e tseng mo dikolotong gore ya godisa. So those people were there. And you know what? Ke a go la di shares mo company ya. I'm not saying that I'm going to do the same thing, but I want to see a better community. I want to see, like my employees le bana ba kgona go afford that dream cars. I want to see that community of togetherness. E se go mo e leng gore go mo company ya rona hela gore motho ha tswa ha wa itse gore I'm going to do the same thing outside there. I want to see people grow. I had someone he was talking to his employees. If in the next 3 years la bontsho o mperekela tle be ke sa go ratele botshelo. So like in fact if in the next 3 years how santse o mperekela I'm going to fire you. E le kgang ya gore keng o batla go bona growth. Ha batla gore motho ha batla gore motho a nne go go le one. So the aim is to see CK Foods e gola, inspiring banana, inspiring Botswana, building community e leng gore tla re ka moso be re kgona gore re be re le sustainable, re kgona gore maybe re gola. Apart from going international, and I believe you've seen the cookies and cream and the cinnamon. These two flavors we are trying to be innovative. We are trying to accommodate different what can I say, segments. That's why re the flavor tse di harologaneng yalo bona. So we want to see innovation even in other products. So CK Foods has a dairy hela. Also bone granola o bone metsi. So like ra tsena into other products. And we want to innovate. And renovate yana re sa dirise a lot of GMO. The aim is to innovate re sa dirise a lot of GMO to make sure that the product are not in health.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, big man, Kago. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kago Dichabe of CK Foods. You have just heard a story. We have dived head first into his world, and you know what? It is amazing. Thank you so much for spending time with us and for listening to this conversation. If you loved it, please give it a like. Subscribe to the channel. It's free. Comment below on your biggest takeaway and make sure to tune in for the next one because we are coming back. Deep dive sessions out.
Yeah, no. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for having me.
That was nice, man.